Yeah. Give him help at the phone. Give him help 45. Oh man, I'm getting in trouble today. It's a trade wall. What's we gonna do? Hold on. Let me. I gotta bring up my comments. Oh man, I'm laughing. I didn't bring up the comments. I didn't know who's in the room. It was funny. Did y'all know? Y'all knew this was gonna happen. That's why y'all called him 54. Or y'all call him 45. I forget. No, it's 45. That's what y'all call him. Give him help 54. Oh, God, I'm gonna get in trouble today. They're gonna be like, my retirement. My retirement is made on slave labor. I need my retirement. So we're going into a trade war, y'all. Hold on. I almost got my thing out. Hold on. I'm sorry. I was laughing in the morning. I didn't even get a chance to pull it up. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy Friday. It's I hate my voice. I don't know why I sound like that. I don't know. Listen, it's Friday, man. It's Friday. It's Friday night. Some of us ain't get paid, but that's okay. That's all right. Money's a bad thing. Money bad. Money's bad. Your investments are bad too. So we're going into a trade war, escalating to level 3 is what they call it. We going into a trade war, and I'ma say it. My Trump friends gonna be happy with me today. Happy. Trump friends. Solidarity. Goodness. Listen, I don't agree with anything y'all said about him taking on the deep state or nothing. Like, I don't believe none of that. But I was born in a world where billionaires never showed up to save us. However, anytime the billionaires in China gonna fight with the billionaires in America or anywhere else, it's a good day. It's a happy day. It's a day of jubilee. Shoot. I know. I'm gonna change my screen. Hold on. Y'all see the movie Glory? This is from the movie Glory, if y'all remember. All right, let me see who's here this morning. We got Marty in the room. Good morning, Marty. And we got Jody and Allison and K Marie 45. That's what they call K Marie 45. I don't know what is it 54? 45. No, because in the movie it was 54, the 54th Regiment, right? But y'all refuse to call his name, and y'all call him 40. People call him 45. Why do they call him 45? Is that like the hecadecimal? Like what? Where did that even come from? Where did that start? Yeah. But see, I think the movie is very important because the movie it demonstrated that people can come together. Because the brother who saw them going to dig the ditches was like, "Y'all digging ditches? Let's go dig them ditches." You know, he had stuff to say. Then at the end of the movie, they came together because they realized we got a common foe. We got to fight this colonization. Now, of course, now they all did some colonization chasing the Native Americans out, but this is how the world goes. You know, but they came together in the end to fight a greater foe. So the end, the racist dude saw the black regiment walking up. He said, "Give him hell, 54." Y'all gotta watch the movie. Y'all didn't watch the movie. I'll post a clip. Somebody post a clip. It was a good movie. Good movie. So we about to spar with the trade war and that's with China. People get upset. Why don't y'all like China? I don't like. Well, that's not. I don't like China. I don't like China's government. I don't like the American government. I don't like the Canadian government. I don't like the UK government. I don't like slaves to billionaires. I don't like them. They bad for my health. They bad for your health too. And the other reason, but mostly I don't like the China government. Let me show you why I don't like I don't like the China government. Look at this. Long time ago, in a place far, far away, a ship showed up on the shores of China. Was it a ship? Was it a ship with some wheelbarrows and they travel across land, the Silk Road? I don't know how they got there. But anyway, they got to China and China gave them fireworks. And guess what they did with them fireworks? They put them on ships. And guess what they did with them ships? They made them cannons. And guess what they did with them cannons? They shot them at indigenous people and people all over the world, and they colonized and dominated the whole world because China gave them some. So listen, China gave them the guns, the fireworks, and now they took over a whole world. So China, I don't care. I'm gonna go with it. This is how colonization got started off. This what really put colonization on juice, put it on petrol fuel. So made in China about to go away. It's gonna say made in something else. But anyway, who else we got? We got Sandra this morning, Renee, Christine, Marty. Everything is a rich man's trick. It is. It always is. But also, Marty, everything it seems to be a poor men getting to fight other poor men for the rich men. And I'm just all about let's not do that no more. Let me see. Sharon, great movie. It was a phenomenal movie. Brother Kevin, good morning. Teresa, let me see. Religion created the stop the poor. Wait a minute. Religion created to stop the poor from murdering the rich. You know, Kevin, I don't think that's why religion was created, but I'm with you. That's what it's used for. It is. There are many tools, and religion is one of the best. Because anytime you can propose to speak to something that people call God, you can make them do some of the most horrible and horrendous things. But also, if you can base their retirement on cheap slave labor coming from China and Africa, South America, Middle East, if you can base their retirement on war, death, murder, and rape, you can get people to do real horrible things too. So I totally agree. That is what religion is used for. It's used to dumb people down, unfortunately. But see, there's a basis in the belief, though. And I'm with the basis in the spirituality and all that stuff. But when you start to take that basis and impose it on other people, that's just about profit. So anyway, I'm all for the trade war. I'm good with this. Good morning, Teresa. How you doing this morning? Happy Friday. And Brandy. And with guns, Teresa. You want to go there with guns? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the guns. What a gun? I don't have a problem with guns. Y'all got a problem. I have no problem with guns. I'm good with guns. Give them hell, 54, 45, 47. Do. 45, 47. Y'all see that movie too? That was another good movie. But I'm good with that. Let's bring on the trade wars. All it's gonna do is help the poor. I am all for it. And if you got your retirement tied up in stocks, what am I gonna say to that? This is what I'm gonna say to that. You got your 401k and it's based on cheap labor and cheap products coming into your country being sold by these massive corporations and the cheap electronics made on slave labor, and your retirement is based on those companies. You're not supposed to have retirement. I'm sorry. That's just a horrible thing to say. Well, you know what? Listen, there were people who invested in the cotton trade too at one point in time. Their retirement was based on slavery and the development of the cotton gin and rolling out more slaves and going back to Africa and Ireland, everywhere they got the poor people to work and bring them here. I'm against that too. That's called not being a hypocrite. That's what it's called. Anyway, that's what we got. Brother Ron is in the house. We got Brother Ron. Only when it's to the death and their fortunes are then. I got to slow down. Let me slow down. I get excited. Brother Ron, a little deep. I got to bring it down a little bit so I can read his comment. Only when it's to the death and their fortunes are then distributed to said poor. I, for one, am for this action and feel it should be implemented immediately. Brother Ron, yes, you always would come with the deep stuff. I had to stop and pause. You like to put big words in. That discombobulates me in the morning. I'm for it too. I am all for a trade war. If people don't understand why, I try to summarize it real quick. Anytime the billionaires are fighting, it's a time for us to escape. That's why. Anytime the plantation masters are fighting each other, damn it, we might be able to get the whip guy, put the whip down, we can get the hell out of here. Anytime you know what, let me do this. I'm gonna do this. Let me show you some of the products that are coming up. Because now let me be clear though. Let me be clear on something. Trump is not doing this for us. I don't think that. I know my Trump friends think that. I don't think that. Yeah, I'm glad it's being done. I don't think he's doing it for us. I think he's doing it for the billionaires on the national level that are his friends. That's why they call it nationalism. I think it's going to do good for small business, and it's going to do good for medium-sized business and the poor who need to start a business, which is a great thing because the poor have only one option because of all the laws the national billionaires wrote, and that is to go to prison. You know, and I think that's a bad place to put the poor. So I'm all for the billionaires fighting. Let them do whatever they want to each other. And I think it's going to be a temporary thing. China's trying to stand out. They said, well, we will endure whatever cost. We talking about $100 billion. Wait, it was 100 billion, 200 billion. I forgot. That might be fake news. Let me show you this clip. So it's going to be a $100 billion trade war. Here are the products. Damn it. Y'all don't have to start making yourselves. Let me pull this up. He's like, I gotta make something? You mean to tell me you happy and excited because I don't get to go home, put my rollers in my hair, play my video games, sit in my drawers, do the Homer Simpson on the sofa, put my hand down and play my video? I gotta get up and make something? Yeah, you gotta make something. This is a good thing. It's gonna be good for you. Hold on. So the U.S. has released a list of proposed tariffs, more than 1,300 products from China. Many of them will target Chinese technology and aviation companies. Any of y'all know how to fly an airplane? Y'all know how to make some wheels? Y'all know how to make a wing or something? Rudders and some jet fuel, you know, parts for the airplane. Listen, American airline and aviation companies, they can do pretty well off of this, you know? And if you can sell to them, because if they're an international aviation company, you ain't selling to them. You're not even gonna speak to them. So I'm good with that. Going to the avionics business. What else? China hit back quickly by proposing 25 tariff on 106 U.S. products. That's not enough, China. You need to do 2,000. You got to one up them. If they're going to do 1,300, you need to do in the 2,000s or 3,000s. Why? Well, because you got this thing called the WTO. It's called the World Trade, or actually, well, they call it the World Trade Organization, but they should have called it the World Colonization Trade Organization. We're WTCO. Because that's all it is. All they're just holding up the trade agreements between billionaires and the coming trillionaires. I have no interest in any of them. So, but China, you got to step it up. Hit some more American products. And why is it important? Because there's people starving in China. There are people who could make those 106 things in China that need jobs. There's people who want to come out the rice paddies. There's people, I personally want to go into the rice paddies, but that's because I lived on this side and I feel that the grass is greener over there because I went over there and I put my feet in the grass and it's like this, like, oh, I could grow some rice. I could grow some tomatoes and vegetables. Actually, I kind of already started to do that, but I'm good with the other side. You know, the other side wants to come and join the colonized modern world. They can do that too. I'm good with that. But the bottom line is you shouldn't be trading anything out of your country that your people don't have in abundance. In America, you have no business trading food if you got kids starving in Alabama, Appalachian, Detroit. You know, you shouldn't be trading water if you shouldn't be trading Pepsi Cola, nothing with any kind of liquid that people might need, but not Pepsi Cola. That'll kill you. That's just a carcinogen. But there's water in there somewhere. You got to take all the carcinogen out, but you shouldn't be trading that to other countries until people in Flint, Michigan got water. When everybody in America, everybody in the hood got some water, they got some small electronics, they got avionics, then you can trade it. So this is my perspective. This is why trade war. Bring them on. Give them hell, 54. 45. Give them hell. Hold on, wait. I missed one. Hold on. Wait. So we're going through the products. What are the products y'all need to be making? China was the United States' largest supplier of goods in 2016 and 27. You don't need to tell. Come on. Come on. China was the United States' largest supplier of product. If you ever come to the United States, I'd pick anything up right now. Anything. It's going to say made in China. I could just reach and grab something. You turn it over. It's not going to say made in America. It's not going to say made in Brazil. It's not going to say made in the UK. It's not going to say anything but made in China. So that's just, you don't have to, hold on. I got to silence my cell phone. You got to silence your cell phone when you do this stuff. People get to calling you, all kind of messages coming. I know. That was bad. Did y'all see that? Y'all see what I did? I didn't put a password in. Did y'all see that? I just went like that. I know. It's slave technology. They got retinal scanners. I know. I'm a colonizer too. I'm a colonizer. You're a colonizer. Wouldn't you like to be a colonizer too? We are some colonizers. But they got the retinal scan function. I was like, oh my gosh. But I didn't upgrade the phone. The only reason I had to get a new phone because the bastards at Geek Squad couldn't fix it. So let's see what else is going on. What are the other products? Here are some of the products that will be impacted. Oh, tariff with China for the poor. Nope, for the billionaires, but still it's gonna help the poor. Electric machinery, ranging from cellular networks to consumer electronics. What was the largest import from China? Here we go. The U.S. also heavily relies on China for the production of LED lights. Man, you know what? I got a friend of mine. A friend of mine owns an LED company down in Jersey. Roll, brother. He gonna do good, man. You gonna be a billionaire. That's probably not a good thing, but you know, he's a good guy. But what happens when you take somebody and make him a billionaire? You screw him up. But the point is, he has American workers, American staff. That's jobs, y'all. And that's probably ain't gonna happen either because it's gonna be automated robots. But still, there is a chance. It's a good thing to poke them in the stubby, step on their toe, poke them in the tummy. In 2017, they made nearly 1.5 billion in imports, according to Quartz U.S. Census. Oh, this is just getting good. This is good news to me. And you, hey, you got that 401k? You still got it? I know all right. So hold on. I know people get mad at me, but here's the point. Here's the point. The point is, if you invest in slavery, good things are not supposed to happen to you. It's karma, baby. It's not supposed. If you invest in slave labor, you believe the whole colonizing move. You decided to not actually stand with the troops. Go in and join the fight against the number one oppressor. If you did not decide to give him hell 54, bad things supposed to happen. So people, I know the first to say, well, what am I supposed to do? I'm preparing for my retirement and I'm putting this money away and in 15 years I can retire. I honestly don't have all the answers for you. I don't. You can put your money in a whole lot of things. You can put it in green technology, sustainable stuff. You can do all kind of great things with it. But if you're putting it in the cotton trade, good things are not supposed to happen to you. If you work for these corporations, good things are not. See how karma works. I know it's a hard pill to swallow. It is. But we weren't designed and we weren't made to be ignorant and lazy and convenienced. The world wasn't ready for that. We got ignorant, lazy, and convenience because we bought into this whole monoculture colonizing mindset, pushing other people down. So if you believe in that and you're building your house on sand, what's supposed to happen to your house? All right, let me go down and see some comments. I'm off into a long intro. I know people, they're like, I can feel the grumbling already. People grumbling, I don't like this one. Because I was preparing for my retirement. Slavery ain't that bad. Modern slavery better than the slavery in the past. It ain't that bad. Meanwhile, people in the hood and people in the trailer parks, they generation after generation after generation, like chattel slavery, in and out of prison. Okay, same damn thing. All right. I'll never retire in accordance to the colonizer standards. Thank you, Sandra. Sandra with the, what Sandra said? Sandra said, give him hell 55. Sandra came and got my back. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you, girl. But I know you get it. I know you get it. I know you understand. You understand where this is all going. You know, maybe retirement's not supposed to be a thing. Maybe retirement's not supposed to be a thing. Maybe if we haven't decided to give automation to humanity and we keep giving it to corporations because we work for those corporations, maybe we're not supposed to retire. Maybe we're supposed to work till we're 80, 90, 120 years old. Maybe we're supposed to do that because we're too stupid to understand if we give all the automation and technology to these companies that this is going to happen. But that's how they get you, because they lock you in. They lock you in and then they give you that indoctrinated mindset that there's only one way to retire, on slavery. And I'm just saying there are other options. You can figure out what your options. I know my options are. I'm working on them. I did the same thing, just to let you know. I did the same thing. I aligned my life with slavery. I listened to what everybody said. Damn it, the people in Africa, pagans, they're supposed to be mining our coltan. I listened to what everybody said. You know, you're supposed to have the poor in Russia. Now you got the damn Paris neighborhoods falling apart. Then in France, they just, because the Moroccans didn't took over the neighborhoods, the kids now, they wanted to put them all in prison. Well, you know what? Maybe you're not supposed to retire. Maybe your society is sick. Oh, we're going to talk about the YouTube shooter. Let me read the comments, then we're going to talk about YouTube a little bit. I posted a little bit on that this morning because I've been having some thoughts. I got no pensions or savings. I will be a burden on society. You got no pensions or savings, Brother Phil, but you're not a burden on society. You are a part of our society. It is our job to take care of you. It's our job to look out for you when bad things happen. I'm good with that. They want the poor for their pensions or their wars. Yes, they do, Sharon. But also, you think about what they do to poor. Like, I got in this good conversation with somebody yesterday. And they're talking about how the system is designed. This whole monoculture is designed to keep the poor poor. It's just like chattel slavery. You can't get out. That all the bankers' laws and rules, they make you pay to be poor. Like you don't, it's just not a thing that you're poor, but you actually have to pay. You pay higher fees with the banks. You pay higher fees at the store. If you don't have a credit card, if you don't have Easy Pass, if you don't, all this crazy stuff. The society is actually designed to make poor people pay to stay poor. That's how sick this is. You want to retire on that? No, you don't retire on that. You want to educate yourself. You want to be a little better human than that. The unholy trinity is here. Hey, Wilhelmina is in the house. Yeah, I don't, Wilhelmina, I'm not gonna touch that. I'm not gonna go there this morning. We had to talk about that one later. My employer gives no responsible options within 403B, leaves cash as option. They have to set it up for the elites. They do, which is, but this is the same thing, Renee. It's just like gun control, right? Why do you go to elite people who put guns, let me go back to the ship, who put guns on ships, invaded the whole damn world, and then they somehow expect them to give us a good solution? We put our retirement in the hands of banks and billionaires and corporations, and we expect them to give us a solution that doesn't lock in their profits. Nah, there's no way you're going to get any kind of peace control, gun control, anything from people who love guns, and you're not going to get any kind of money control, retirement control, nothing that really, really works for the masses of human beings from people whose business model is to keep poor people poor and keep slavery running. Good morning, Mary. How you doing? Debbie's in the house. Debbie! Everybody say hi to Debbie. Hey, Debbie! Y'all put your arms around Debbie. I know they censoring the heck out of that girl. They won't leave her alone. They will not leave. And this is gonna segue. I'm gonna segue into the YouTube thing. Went a little early, but we didn't found Debbie that came in the house. We're gonna talk a little bit about YouTube because I was having some thoughts this morning. I haven't looked at my thread. I know people mad. And so first of all, if you saw the video I did a long time ago about Sister J and the time where she was kind of flipping out, she was being censored by YouTube. We've been here before. We knew this was going to happen. So nobody going to pretend that we're surprised. Oh my God, we're surprised. Somebody got mad at YouTube and shot a bunch of people. No, we knew this was coming. This was, I didn't go down far enough. I know, I look down and see probably people yelling at me, but that's okay. I'm good with that. Because when you censor people, it's supposed to get pissed off, right? I like to think of it in terms of an abuser, right? Think about an abusive husband. What is his first order of action? What do abusers, what have they always done? When they got some bad ideas in mind, they go when women were less than cattle. Some countries, they're still less than cattle. They married those women and they got them the hell out of town. They got them the hell away from their family. Sometimes they lived in the same towns with their family, but they refused to let the woman leave the house. They refused to let the woman leave the yard. Why? Because they were beating the hell out of them. They were abusing them, they were raping them, and they denied them a voice. They censored them by refusing to let those women talk to their family. This has happened since the beginning, the history of the world. This is how abusers work. They silence you. They take away your voice. Voiceless people can't object. Nobody knows what's happening when you're voiceless. So we knew this was going to happen. And I'll put it in a context like this, right? In terms of action, now the good thing is, last thing I heard, nobody died. Right? They shot 3 people and they're all in the hospital. I think the guy's in critical condition. She died. And I guess she was willing to give her life to get her message out. The sick thing is if you actually watch her videos, because I think they're still on her website, but you saw some of them on the news. She was dancing. She was dancing, yo. She was dancing and they didn't like what she was wearing. Now, mind you, I go down to the mall and I didn't see 14-year-olds wearing much worse than what this woman was wearing in the video. And so they started shutting down her video, saying they were explicit. You know how to call mine explicit? I know, showing a little too much neck. Facebook said mine are explicit. I know, because I'm showing a little too much skin. I got to cover up a little more. But and so she was dancing. It wasn't even political. But they censor you because it's about power, right? The demonetization that hit everybody, that was a part of it. That was about money. They demonetized you because they wanted to save the money. They didn't want to pay you for your content. That angered a lot of people, pissed a lot of people off. To be honest with you, people probably should have been running around shooting up from that. And I don't think they did. I don't hear any case. I don't watch the news, so I don't know. There was no big thing of suicide or case, but I guarantee you it happened. Because when people set up their whole life to make money making content for your platform and then you turn them off, then you change your policy, you've taken away their lifestyle. They're supposed to do something extreme. Well, they're not supposed to, but we live in a time where mental illness is a huge thing. So when it comes to censorship and voiceless, when you take it in, the voice thing is about power and control, and this is the mind of the abuser. They want you quiet. They don't want you talking. They're using you for some level of profit somehow, and they shut you up. And if you don't have a voice, what do you have? If they take your voice, you no longer have an audible way of getting your message out, of objecting, of sharing. Your only other option is physical, right? You got voice and you got physical. And that's what she resorted to. So we knew it was coming. But the thing is, we need to view it for what it actually is. They want to make money and they want to keep power over people. And that is always going to end in violence. And this is what I'm thinking. And this is what I said in that video. I hate to say that I said it. I hate this. I don't like when people say, I told you so. I don't like that either. But I told you so. I said in the video that it's going to be wrongful death suits. This is my next post. It's going to be wrongful death suits that are going to drive the end of the censorship. But my question is, why do we have to wait for that? Why do we have to wait for people to die to do the right thing? Why are we so dumb that we always got to wait for people to get hurt or people to die before we do the right thing? Why do we always got to send medications out and wait till people start getting autism or they start getting sick or they start dying before we recall it? Why do we always got to release chemicals? And this one was Reagan. But why do we always have to release chemicals and put them in products and put them in pillows and in mattresses and in lotions and soaps and all that stuff, and then wait till people start dying, wait till people start getting sick, and then pull it back? Why do we always got to wait for that? Why can't we just step up now and say, you know what? We went the wrong way with this. This whole censorship thing is not working. Don't take away people's voice. Let them talk, because they're going to flip out. And you know who they're going to kill? Us. That's who they're going to kill. They're going to kill us. You work for the wrong corporation. This gets back to slavery. You work for the wrong corporation that's embracing slavery, that's embracing war, that's embracing these oligarchs and these massive, massive corporations ruling the world. What is that karma supposed to do to you? Scary topic. That's a scary topic, but it's a truthful one. It's just how the world works. The world works when you take a woman. Who was it? Oprah Winfrey. I had to fight my whole life. You know, boy, I let you touch me again. I messed up the quote. But when you take somebody and you show them that violence is the only way that they're going to be heard, when all options are gone, they're going to result to violence. But this is, and what I'm saying here is, if what the social media companies or if what they're trying to do is ingenuous, right? If what they're really trying to do is they're trying to bring us together on a platform, let people talk, have fun, enjoy, make friendships, and they can make a whole lot of money in the advertisement, if that's all they're trying to do, then this makes sense. If that's not the intent, if they actually are just tools for CIA, deep state, acronyms, alphabet, letter, whatever, oligarchs in Russia, if that really is their intent, is to get us angry and destabilize us and get us fighting and get people shooting up people just trying to go to lunch, if that actually is now their intent, then they won't change anything. They'll keep doing exactly what they're doing, because that is exactly where this is going to go. Sorry, I'm going to go, you know, but because how it works is they know most people aren't paying attention. They know most people will turn against their friends. They'll turn against their neighbors. They'll turn against other poor people, and they'll say, government, please come protect us. And this is, but like I said before, this is why I don't get into the false flag in terms of, did it happen? Did it happen this way? Say it happened. I personally don't care. What I care about is afterwards the disaster capitalism that comes about because people who don't get it. The whole gun control, turn against other poor people, and cheer the colonizers on the boat. The colonizers coming, they got cannons on the boat. They don't use boats anymore. Well, I guess with the World Trade Organization, the big trade deals, and they still use boats. They don't have cannons on them that I know of. But they mostly use economics and digitally. They do their colonization through that nowadays. But if your income is based on that, your lifestyle is based on that, real bad things supposed to happen to you. Unfortunately, that's how karma works. And most of us in the Western world, we can't get away from it. Our lifestyles are attached to it. Those bad things are going to come back and revisit us. Those chickens will always come home to roost. Remember how Bill Maher said that? I don't like Bill Maher. I'm done with him. Remember how he said that after 9/11? The chickens always come home to roost. Karma always returns. The IMF and the centralized colonizers banking system has determined that the U.S. not be the economic power, shift to China, and we let it. Yes, Christine. And you know what? And I was watching a report, Christine. I have a bunch of news articles. I'll show some news videos if we want to. We'll just let the discussion goes where it goes. But that's what they're saying. They're saying, oh, well, you know, Trump is screwing up. 45. Give him hell 54. He's screwing up because it's going to make China a superpower. It's going to push the United States out. Why is that bad? Well, it's bad because China will be in front of us. Why is that bad? Well, we got to make more money than China. But why is that bad? Well, China might actually build up a military. Why is that bad? It's not bad. It's not bad unless you love war, unless you love slavery. We actually need to set that example. We actually let it need to collapse. I don't think it's going to. I think all of this is positioning and you know, between these billionaires, one day they're gonna sit down at the country club, have a little tea and some brandy, and once they're done with that, they're gonna say, all right, we did this long enough. We both lost a lot of money. This is not good. You know, the minions, the peasants are actually starting businesses. They're making their own products. They're starting to make money again. And we got to shut this down. All right, so you do this, I'll do this, make percentages over here, and it's going to go away. The trade war will end. But in the meantime, it's going to expose a hole, right? It's going to expose a gap, like NFL. And you got to run up through the gap. Is that what they still call it? You got to run up through between the linebackers. You have a way. There's a way for the poor to actually make out in this. This is what you want to look at. You want to look at the products that will not be coming in from China. Because you know what the billionaires are going to do while this is happening? They're going to do the best they can to shift it to Brazil, get some slave labor in Brazil. They're going to shift it to the UK. They got slave labor in the UK? I don't think so. But they're going to shift it over to Morocco. They're going to shift it to different places, Libya, anywhere they can get some cheap slave-made products to keep it all coming in. And it's your place to not cheer that. It's your place to say, no, you know what? I think I'm going to start buying made in America. And if you live in another country, same like the UK, if everything in your country says made in China too, that's your place to say, you know what? I'm going to stop being lazy fat hog. And I think I'm going to go ahead and start making this. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start growing my own food as opposed to buying all my food from other countries. I think it's a phenomenal thing. But yes, that's what's happening, Christine. That's what they're warning people, is that China's going to get in front of us. Personally, I want China in front of us. I'm still mad at them. They gave the British the cannons, the fireworks, but I want them in front of us. Why? Because I don't want my country to embrace slavery anymore. I don't. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I want us to be free. I want us to actually do the right thing. I want us to go back to setting an example. Did we ever set the example? I'm not sure that we ever did. I think we did for a moment. The Constitution was signed. People are good things, and let's give them rights and everything. But like 2 seconds after it was signed, they got rid of that. Let me see. What else we got? Literally just had a convo with mom and a friend about retirement. It was so depressing. Both of them work very hard and still worry about not having enough for later. Yeah, Phil. But you know what, Phil? I think when you hear stuff like that, I think you got to explain the truth to them. It's because this system does not work. The system is a pyramid. It only works for people who actually fight their way to the top, hatchet everybody in the back, climb to the top of the corporate ladder, become the supervisor, the manager, the CEO. The more people you screw, the better off you'll do in retirement. And I think it's time for people to say, you know what? That doesn't work for me. I don't want to retire on money. I don't want to retire. I want to retire on my efforts. I want to retire on things I do. I'm going to grow some of my own food. I'm going to pay for my house instead of buying a bigger house. I'm not going to keep buying more cars. I'm going to fix my car. Maybe I'll go back to learning how to fix cars. You know, step away from that colonizing, monetary, debt-based mindset. But I think you have to tell them that, because people feel, I don't think they know there are other options. It is an option to move to another country or to move to an area of the country where it's cheaper to live. You know, it's like the United States. Everybody thinks we're running out of land. Like, there's no elbow room. It's too many. It's not too many. We're not even overpopulated. We could bring in everybody from Mexico, every last immigrant. And that's where 54 wrong, 45, whatever his name is. Trump. We got all the room in the world. You ever drive across the United States and actually realize how big this damn country is? You ever fly around the world? You ever travel and realize how big the earth is? That's just illogical as people who think the earth is overpopulated. There's land everywhere. You can buy yourself a little plot of land, put yourself a little farm on there, get yourself some greenhouses, learn how to grow some food again, get you some solar panels and wind vanes, make your own electricity, go off grid, and retire. Easy. No problem. But you gotta work a little bit. You don't have to work a lot. It's not like homesteading. Back when you went off grid, it was like homesteading. Yeah, I had no interest in that either. I'm not a homesteader. I'm not. I know Claudia would get mad, like, no, I'm supposed to do labor. I'm not a labor guy. I'm not. I don't mind doing some labor. I want to retire with my Wi-Fi and let automation do as much of the growing my food as possible. But we know we can do that. But if you want to retire and live like a king in the city, live high up, get yourself a suite, yeah, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. And the majority of people who try to do that will never make it. All they'll end up doing in the pyramid scheme, which is what it is, multi-level marketing, is they'll get to a level where they can kind of sort of have a retirement, but they got to still open the door at Walmart and greet people. You know, I say that you give it up. Cash only option for me until I roll over. Can't see myself profit off others. Yeah, Renee, because you're a human being and like you get it. You have that love within you. There's no ice in your heart. You understand that how all of this works and how it's all linked together and it's related. But if you want a lazy retirement, you want to just sit back and put your hand in your boxers, Homer Simpson, and play some video games and watch TV and don't do anything, I'm just sure that there's not a place for you. I'm sure that those people, when this thing collapses, nothing good's gonna happen to you. That's all I'm gonna say. Nothing good's gonna. But if you find yourself a little plot of land out somewhere and you've kind of got something sustainable going on, you'll be fine. The power can go out, you still got power. You know, the monetary system could collapse. You don't need money. You don't care. You know, you still got food, but it does require community. That's why I'm all for people going off grid everything, off grid your retirement, because this trade war is going to get hot. China said, we don't care what it costs. Let me go back over here. China said, we don't care what it costs. Bring the trade war on. And as long as these people are willing to have this trade war, then people, let me see. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Hold on. Let me see. What did China say? Right here. Oh, this was another one. This is good.
For more on this and the politics surrounding all of it, we're joined tonight by Ned Ryan. He is the CEO of American Majority. Ned, always a pleasure. What is the president's working himself into a heck of a jam here? I think that's what most people think. He just won't back down. What's the end of this?
I mean, let's kind of go back to where we started with all of this, Ed. I mean, we started back in April of 2017 with the Commerce Department going and looking at our steel and aluminum industry in the light of national security concerns and going, we have an issue here, and we've got to figure out how to protect our steel and aluminum industry. And we've had this conversation, Ed. No superpower in its right mind is going to lose its capabilities to do steel production. And you look at some of these, I know that Trump's looking at these trade deficits. He's looking at the fact that we've probably lost trillions of forced technology over the last decade or two to China. At some point, you have to have the conversation, is the United States on the path to becoming just simply a tributary state for China? So I think Trump is trying to figure out what we do now to really decide where we're going to be a generation or two from now on the international stage. And so he's trying to negotiate to figure out how things change with China. Because right now, Ed, if we continue down this path, the U.S. will definitely be subservient to China, maybe just even a generation or two from now.
Well, the president's on
Bring it on. Good thing. Good. It's good to be subservient slavery.
an island tonight. I don't hear any Republican voices saying this is the right way to go. This is what we have to do with China. He's in a sense going economic. This is rogue activity by the president in the world of economics.
I'm sorry. I love it. I know. Be mad at me all you want. I love it. Go 54. Go on. Love it. This is what we need, people. We need this thing to fall. This is why I like him when he's a rogue and he just comes out, says anything out of his mouth. You know, go ahead, say it, end the war, bring people home in Syria, say these things. We need people to say things that are true. This is true. This is what we're supposed to be doing.
Well, it's because I think a lot of the Republican Party has always been so knee-jerk free trade. I mean, I was hearing an argument yesterday that, well, we don't want to ruin our trade relationships with China because of its booming, its growing economy, its growing population. And my argument back to that is, with their forced technology, they're going to figure out how to do domestic production, and at some point, they're not going to need to buy our goods. And so I think what Trump is coming up against really is this traditional Republican stance on trade, and he's saying, you know what, I'm not really sure this is in America's best interest moving forward.
There's a real...
And that's a very real reality, right? Because a trade war, it will get to a place where it becomes the other side that you're not trading with, they will build up sustainable markets in their country too. But they'll do more international, perhaps. Maybe they'll do more local. America will too. But is that not a good thing? Is it not a good thing to have sustainable countries that aren't dependent on each other? Ask Puerto Rico. Was it a good thing for them to be dependent on the United States trade? They still don't have no power. They still, still 30% of the country has no power. Nobody cares. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody gives a damn. You know, but you have to build up your own sustainability. And that's a good thing. And maybe China will surpass us in things. But why do you care? Why is it so important to you? Because you've convinced yourself that this system is actually a good thing to do. You've convinced yourself that it's a good idea to have massive corporations that can have 2 billion users that actually can determine conversations people have. You've decided it's a good idea to get people who are mentally ill and make them pissed off to a point where they're trying to make money from YouTube videos and retire on YouTube, and YouTube says, screw you, and pulls the money back, and now they can't have a retirement, and they want to go shoot up a bunch of people. You've convinced yourself that the people who hate you actually want to do something positive for you, all behind it.
Chance here that this could bleed jobs in America. There's no question about it. It's certainly going to hurt the ag community unless there are some subsidies that are implemented, and the farm bill's dead right now.
It could bleed jobs in America. That's a good thing. Yes. I'm for that too. I know 45, he don't like that, or 54, Trump, his name is. Give him hell, 54. Y'all don't like that because they're like, oh, we need more jobs in America. I'm like, nope, no, we don't. Nope. Less jobs we had, the better. The more I think about this is why we don't want jobs. And number one, all the jobs are going to go away eventually anyway. And automation is going to take your job. You're not going to get to have it. I don't care what you do, whether you're a banker, you're an accountant, you're a lawyer. We're coming for you. We've been automating you out of a job for a long time. You're a billing representative. Whatever you do. I don't care what you do. Machines do it better physically, and software does it faster. You will not have a job. The sooner we swallow that, the better. Human beings were supposed to do work, but not work for lords and kings. We're supposed to do work for our communities. We're supposed to be doing work for our children. We're supposed to be doing work for sustainable things. We're not supposed to be working for mega corporations so we can get our really high, pristine retirement where we smell good and we can go travel to the Caribbean and look down at the commoners living in shacks and, oh, I'll buy some trinkets from you. Young serfs, here you go. Yeah, young tyke. No, we're not supposed to want to mimic the lords and the kings. We're supposed to want to mimic good and decent people. So I'm good with that. Let the jobs go. I don't care what they're going to. Because you know what's going to happen? And the other thing that happens when you lose your job, you start a business. You start making things. You start selling things. You start fixing things. You go back to being sustainable. So to me, all of this is important for sustainability. Now his argument on big ag. How do I feel about big ag? Oh yeah, big A. Big A. That's how I feel about big ag. Big A. Number one, big ag went the wrong direction a long time ago. I know my farmer friend's gonna be upset with me, but I'm just gonna tell you the real. I went to an agribusiness school. I have a little familiarity with agribusiness and it going the wrong direction. It decided it no longer wanted to be an agricultural business and it wanted to be a chemical business. So I'm not gonna call it something dirty, something clean. It's dirty. They sell you chemical food. They grow on chemical methods and they're poisoning the population. Big ag needs to collapse. It needs to fall, let it come all down. It's just a big corporation, right? People say, fight for your farmers, fight for your farmers. I don't say that. Screw the farmers, screw them. Screw the chemical farmers. I don't care nothing about them. They're not growing healthy food. They're part of the reason why the healthcare system is collapsing. They're giving people these medical problems because they are chemical carcinogen farmers. They stopped growing the way their parents taught them. They stopped growing the way our ancestors learned for 5,000 years, sustainable ways to grow healthy food. So let it collapse. When big business came for the small farmer and screwed them out of their land, we should have fought back and we didn't. We let it happen, and so now chemicals are all in all the food. So I'm all good. Let big ag collapse. Let it collapse. I'm gonna dance like this. Let it collapse. Bring it down. I'm not worried about the farm bill. I'm not worried about any of it, because you know what's going to happen when that mess collapses? You're going to see a resurgence in organic farmers. You're going to see a resurgence in sustainable farmers. You're going to see a resurgence in farmers owning their own land, growing on their own land and selling it to people to eat and make them healthy. This is what we want. We need strong people. So let it collapse. I'm good with that too. People get mad all over the place. Anything you don't want to collapse? No, I want the whole damn thing to come down. Let it burn, baby, burn. I'm done with my support for slavery and forced labor. So I'm see if there's any other argument, any other thing that's going to make me upset about it.
They can't come to conclusion on that. And Mitch McConnell talking about a blue wave, that there's a real good chance of a category 3, 4, or 5 storm for the GOP. This is rough water right now. And Ned, who's going to smooth this out on the Republican side?
Well, it's ironic that Mitch McConnell was talking about a Category 5 when he went out along with his joint majority leader Chuck Schumer and helped pass a $1.3 trillion omnibus bill, which mistakenly Trump signed. He should have vetoed it and sent it back to them. I don't see this as being quite a Category 5 at this moment, Ed. I see it more as a Category 3. You look at the...
It's a Category 5 for billionaires. For me, it's like a pleasant tropical rainstorm. I'm just sitting back like this, like, oh, my mouth, let the water fall in. It's organic and fresh. There ain't no chemtrails, aluminum in it. I'm good with it. I'm gonna talk about something else. Let me look at the comments first. Let me look at the comments, because some other things I want to talk about. I won't spend my time on the trade war. Bring it, baby, bring it. We need trade war on millions of products. I don't want to see that cheap crap in my country anymore. I want my neighbor to go make, remember that little thing that you, with the little trolls, where you make the troll with the pencil? Y'all remember that? We're as kids. The little pencil had the troll with the hair, and you spin it like this in class by the teacher and you get in trouble. And then the teacher take your pen. Like, that's my pen. You can't take my pen. I want that to be made in America. I want that to be made in the UK. I want that to be made where you live, right? Made by your neighbors, damn it. You can be like this. It's not going to say made in China spinning around. Look. There shouldn't be hoarders of any persons, places, or things. Start sharing. Absolutely. Thank you, Sandra. I really appreciate it when you invite and share. I think we got an important message here. Anything that's opposite the standard narrative is a good thing. And that's why that's what we talked about yesterday. I like opposites. I want opposites. I want to know the opposition. I want the opposition to come to me and give me something intellectual I can chew on. This is how we get smarter. Come to me and don't say, be a Democrat because it starts with D. No, I don't care that it starts with D, man. And don't tell me I'm supposed to be a Democrat because I'm black, because they put more black people in prison than any group on the planet, including the KKK. So no, don't tell me that. Well, you're supposed to be a Republican because you believe in free trade and capitalism. No, damn it. Republicans, they murder people. They love war too. They're the ones who taught the Democrats how to murder people with war, and the Democrats did a better job at this. So nah, give me something delicious I can chew on. Give me a fact, opposition. You say, this trade agreement is a bad idea because of this. That's not going to happen. But what'll happen is you can give me something and I say, oh, you know what? I wasn't thinking about that the right way. I still think trade agreements are good, but maybe we need to do this way or that way, or maybe we need to go a little slower with this. Give me something I can chew on. Opposition is a good thing. So you can't shut up your opposition. You're supposed to go find people who disagree with you, have an intellectual discussion with them, take away the intellectual points, and it'll make you smarter. That's how this works. But if you find other pod people like you who agree with you, who look like you, got your religion, and do things like you do, they're just gonna make you dumber. Because when you say something dumb, they're gonna do this. We'll patch it. The wall is not white. I think it's blue. Oh yeah, the wall blue. The wall blue. It's like he's hitting on your back. No, you don't want people to pat you on your back unless you actually say something that's correct. So you got to find honest friends too. China's unscrupulous when compared to America. Yeah, China. Well, I think China and America the same thing. You know, Wilhelmina. I think I'm just mad at China because they gave them guns, but I think China and America the same thing. I think it's all a lie. I told you. I have this crazy thought and idea that all of this. Let me shut him off. I don't want to look at him no more. I think that the same people who run China run America. The same people who run America run Russia. And we got the first indication of that when who was it? The Rothschilds and what was that project they were doing to euthanize people with bad genes? Somebody post a link. Tell me the name of that project. I forgot. It was it was a project where they said the poor people don't have good genes and they're polluting the human race, and so we need to kill poor people, euthanize them so that their mucus and their genes don't infect the rest of the world. And it started in Europe and it spread throughout the world, even reaching America to a point where if you were mentally ill, they were, yes, eugenics, thank you. Somebody, who was that? Well, Johnny on the spot, Brother Phil, eugenics, yes. So we saw that then that these billionaires were getting bored, that all the Rothschild kids, they had to have projects. And this was one of their projects. I forgot his name, but then they pushed it all over the world and all the governments embraced it. So whether it's because they got the money to buy governments or they put all the governments in place, they colonized everybody, I don't know. I'm just a little dude that just look at stuff. I'm not allowed to know these things. I'm a peasant in the colony. But the same people, I think, run all of them. And we got that hint then. And if you look at things now, all the governments are all doing the same thing. Every last one of them. That should tell you. It's like the news article. Who posted it the other day? I think Braden. I think that was you. Brother Thor posted that article the other day, or the news thing where they showed that it was the latest news where the people on the news, they all say the same script. And it's like, da, 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 da. You know, it's all the same thing. So they're all doing the same thing. I got something positive. Hold on. I'm sorry. Something positive. Gotta have positive every now.
Well, the incident happened to fellow passengers, but once they realized what happened, they sprang into action. They surrounded the man and prevented him from getting off the bus. Well, the bus driver then immediately changed course and headed straight to the nearest police station. And when they got there, people voluntarily stayed behind so they could give their testimony to police.
All right, so I'm gonna stop. So this is what I mean when I say, and it's not even me, it's just intelligent people when they say, human beings are born knowing right from wrong. You don't need the laws. You don't. You don't need your governments. I know people, oh, we need our government. No, you don't, baby. You don't, no. The Ty get here yet, we're Ty. You didn't do your homework, baby. You didn't do your research. Government's not a thing. Not a thing. I gotta get a Ty fan. It's not a thing. No, baby, go read a book. Human beings are known right from wrong. So what happened is the guy touched her. She flipped out, ran to the back of the bus. When people on the bus going to work, mind you, going to work. I don't know what country this is. This might have been China, where people, maybe they're a little deeper than we are. Going to work, decided, nope, we're going to stop and we're going to flip out. We're going to surround the guy. We're going to grab him. The bus driver stopped. We need to go to the police station. Took him to the police station, and everybody, hold on, and they stayed on the bus. They didn't complain about their work because they wanted to help this girl, and the guy got detained for 5 days for touching this little, I don't know if she was a little girl, I'm saying she's a little girl on the bus. People know right from wrong. When adversity comes and people think of each other as family, they do the right things. But that's why they have all this division. That's why all they want you to do is to fight. Because if you're fighting with people and other people are less human than you, then you'll do dumb stuff like that. Hold on, I'm getting some tings. some pings, but I can't go over. I wanted to see who was over on their YouTube. Sometimes people say something on YouTube and I don't see them, so I can't respond. So anyway, it's a good thing, but it's a good example, you guys. Another example that we don't need this. You know, it's only in ignorant places where people get hurt and people stand back and say, oh, somebody just call the police and just let them keep doing what they're doing. Nope, that's not us. It's not what we do. What else we got? Planned Parenthood was based on eugenics, I think. It was rebranded. Ooh, Ava. You that pesky truth. Bringing that pesky truth out. Yes, I did. I think I saw it was. I was watching a documentary. I forgot what it was called, but it was about eugenics, and it did explain that that is where they got the basis of it. That certain communities they walked them into abortion and to pay for it, and Hillary Clinton was a part of that. Y'all remember the Ayn Rand and all of that. You know, I remember. I don't have all the details, but it was all related. Where she's just like. This is what I don't understand, Ava. I don't understand how certain people of certain communities, I won't mention any names, would vote for Hillary Clinton. I don't understand it. The woman basically came out and said, y'all don't get to exist. You're not human. Your blood is too thick. You don't think well. But she'll smile and take a picture with you. But they wanted you to kill all your babies. And so they funneled all this money into it. You know, but it came down from the same concept that was handed down through eugenics. Some people are smarter than others. Some people are better than others. Some people have bad genes, and you're just supposed to murder those people or kill them or convince them to kill themselves. And if you can't do that, set up a whole society of mass incarceration so you can put them all in prison and hashtag the Black Caucus. I can't stop talking about them. They're my favorite sellouts. They're my favorite You got to talk about the sellouts. They're my favorite ones because they didn't even care. They put it right in your face. We're going to write the crime bill. We're going to support Bill Clinton. We're going to put all y'all in prison. And it's just, oh man, don't get me started down that path. Brother Eric, I moved to the country and I love it. Got 6 chickens, 2 sheep, 2 horse, 3 dogs, 2 cats, a bird, and a mama. I love it. I have great neighbors. Hold on. I have great neighbors who all have different opinions than me, but we live together in harmony and respect each other and take care of each other. Brother Eric, just with the punch, just boom. God bless you, brother. Good thing too. But we need those examples, right? We need those examples. The only time that you really hear about stories like yours is YouTube and like other places where you might go find an obscure video on homesteading. The vast majority of time, it's this narrative that, oh my gosh, it's hard work. I can't do it. The chickens stink and the donkey's gonna step on your foot and you get doo-doo on your shoes into the mud room. I'm just like, that's not what's happening. People every day are moving to the country. Every day. You know what one good thing about the country is, I'll tell you, is you don't see the police. I'm not an anti-police guy. I like my police. My police know me. They're not gonna shoot me because they know me. They're not on YouTube blasting people. That's other police. But that's not the point. I still don't want to see them. I'm not a gun guy. You know, when I see guns, I don't know, something about the uniform. If I see one of my redneck friends with a gun in a gun rack, I feel safe. I'm good. I don't feel anything. I got a brother comes in every now and then. Got his holster, got his piece in there. I'm good with that. But I don't like to see police with guns. I don't know why. It's my indoctrination. You know, I grew up in PG County, Washington, D.C., and this was back when they used to just, oh man, in the 80s, Rayful Edmond was in D.C. They were just shooting everybody, sprinkling crack on them. Didn't matter who did it. If they didn't like you, you automatically did it, which, by the way, I'm going to say a lot of those police look with the same race of the people they were taking in. But we're not going to go there. People don't like to talk about that. But the point was that if something happened, you already fit the description. Didn't really matter. Who did it? Oh, it was a purple person. All right, let's get the next purple person we can find. Take them into jail. Multi-racist, doesn't matter. You know, so, but this is what's happening with Skripal, which is why I said Skripal, Pipple, Bibble, Man, Bibble. I don't care. I don't think he exists. I don't think the spy Skripal, I don't even think he was there. I don't think they poisoned him. I don't think anything happened. because they didn't produce any evidence. And it's funny, the hypocrisy, right? There's no evidence that Russia actually poisoned the guy, but he's guilty. He's guilty because he's the right ethnicity. He fits the right ethnic groups. He came from a region called Russia, where multiple cultures are there, and they're bad, horrible people. And so they'll take that hate and they'll apply it to Russia in a minute. But when you mention something about, oh, back when the police would just go pick somebody who just fit a racial description, oh, that was bad. That was bad then. You know, say, nah, stop. I don't do sellouts. But it's good to hear, Brother Eric. It is good to hear. It actually is very easy to go off grid. They just convince you it's hard. Like I have friends who think solar energy, oh, it's difficult. The power cuts off and it's not reliable and it's blah, 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 blah. It's a lie. All right. It's a complete lie. Solar energy and a hybrid system where it's linked up with water generation or wind generation, you will never be out of power. And geothermal, wherever you are, there's always geothermal, there's wind, there's solar, or there's some running water. You will always have power. The people who run out of power are the people who don't get systems installed correctly. They don't get systems rated correct. They're supposed to sit down, do their study of the wind, the sun, and determine, you know, and ground heat, and determine which system, which hybrid system to give you. Because some days you're going to have cloud cover. Some days you're going to have chemtrails. You know, some days you're going to have low wind. If you have a good company install your system, you'll never run out of power. Off-gridding is not hard. It's very easy. They just tell you it's hard because they don't want you to take your retirement out of the banks, buy land, get yourself a little farm and a septic system and some animals and plant some crops and realize that you actually don't need their system. That's what it's all about. And that's why I love the trade war. We come back to it. Give them hell, 54. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it all day long. Give them hell. I love it. Trade war, bring it on. Because all you're going to do is you're going to push more people off grid. You're going to push more people to be sustainable. You're going to push more people to do what Brother Eric just said. Y'all need to tap on Brother Eric and make a friend of him. That's what you need to do. If you question how hard it is to be off grid, to have a farm, grow some food, live in a community with beautiful people, click on Brother Eric, send a friend invite, ask him a question. Don't ask me. Because I'm going to tell you being stupid. I'm going to tell you we did this for 200,000 years before the colonizers took over the whole damn world, you know? So wonderful, wonderful example. Thank you, Brother Eric. And that's the other thing, though, too. I'll say that, too. Living around other happy people. Like, that's the other piece of it, right? You know, how do you not flip out because YouTube blocks your video and you can't go talk to your family and friends and you can't get your release out because the abuser is silencing your message? If you got good neighbors, if you got good family, if you've got good people around you who are happy too, they're not getting in their car every morning, going to a place they don't want to go, working hard for people they don't want to work for, trying to build up a retirement so they can retire in a pyramid system that ensures the majority of people won't have a decent retirement, they're going to be angry. So yeah, if you're surrounded by angry people, you're going to flip out. But when bad things happen, if you're surrounded by good people, people who like having you a part of their community, people who you talk to, and when you talk politics, you don't flip out. You just, oh, we disagree. Oh, damn it. Yeah, okay, that's too bad we disagree. Hey, let's go get coffee. Okay. You know, when you deal with people who are also happy, they're not as strung out. They're not ready to flip out. That's why when I say when you start talking about this stuff online, or the people, politics, whatever it may be, and people make it personal, they get mad and they start yelling and screaming at you, those are people who hate their life. That's why actually I feel sorry for them. I don't like hit them back. I just, you know, you want to argue with me, I'm not going to argue with you. When you start making it personal, I just look at you and I feel sorry for you. I realize that you haven't found that joy in your life. And that's part of why I don't want to argue. One, because I know you're not going to change your mind. You're indoctrinated and you're angry. But two, you've already made it personal, which means you have no facts. Three, you have something so bad in your life and you're surrounded by other angry people who aren't happy either. You might smell good. You might drive a Benz, have a big house, pretty husband, pretty wife, whatever, lots of kids, nice basketball, you know, all the extracurricular activities, straight A students, but your life doesn't work. And if your life doesn't work, I'm not going to try to make your life any worse by explaining the truth to you. It's because you set up your life on something like Brother Eric didn't do. You actually believe that the colonizer system was for the poor instead of making massive amounts of poor so that they could live real nice on the top. And it just take a little 10% of y'all and give y'all something good, give you a decent retirement, and everybody else lives in slavery. Like, what's the statistic now? Around, well, it's not even around the world, just in the United States, was that something like 60% of the people in the United States are $1,000 away from a major financial disaster or bankruptcy, that they live paycheck to paycheck. And if the car breaks and it costs $1,000, they're done. They're not buying food. This is what we want to support, huh? This is the system we want to hand to our kids. This makes sense, huh? So anyway, I don't debate with those people. But you know what? That was why I was listening to a good lecture the other day. The brother was talking about, and he said some true things. He said, but you know what? Life gets better every generation. Poverty is less than it's ever been. War is less than it's ever been. And people get caught up in the negativity. And the truth is, he's right. Things are better than they've ever been. But that's not the question I pose. I don't pose the question, are we killing 1 million people a year with war versus, 20 million a year going back years ago, or 5 million, whatever it may have been. I question, we know killing one person with war is a bad idea. So why are we killing one person, right? Why? We don't need time to do the right thing. We know that we are doing the wrong thing, and we invest in doing the wrong thing. We put our retirement investment in it, and they trick us into staying this way because they convince us we can't retire and have a life like Brother Eric unless we work for these corporations and we help them continue to colonize the rest of the world. I don't know what's going on. I see, oh, Brother Chris came in the room. What's going on, Chris? What else we got? Show them it can be done. Yes, and that's the point. Brother Braden just said, people are doing it. It can be done. It's already done. And a lot of us are already doing it. I'll be honest with you. I got some things I'm working on I don't want to talk about. But, everybody who gets it, they are either attached to a project to go off grid or they're doing it themselves. So just because people don't want to tell you what they're doing, it doesn't mean they're not doing it. It just means that they understand that Obama wrote in the NDAA that everything you own belongs to the federal government. So if you buy some solar panels and wind vanes and you're setting up all this organic, put your money in gold and guns and all of this stuff, the federal government will know. You post it on social media, you let everybody know what you're doing, where your community is, what you're about. The minute that they declare a national disaster, they can come take all of it, because it all belongs to them. Think about that for a minute. And they got the guns to do it. They got the drones to do it. This is why, again, another reason why people say, gun control, gun control. Not for it. Not sorry. Nope. Wrong person. I want more people to have more guns. That's what I want. I think we are not heading for a good place, and I want this whole thing to collapse. And when it collapses, I want those poor people to be able to keep what they have so they can keep their sustainable communities. That's my position. Hillary admired the eugenics women. The eugenics woman very much. We should admire people who love and respect humanity. Absolutely, Sandra. And because Hillary said it, she didn't hide it. She didn't hide it. She was throwing out Ayn Rand quotes, right? I think it was Ayn Rand that you're talking about. She didn't hide it, but people don't do their research. People don't do the homework, and they end up supporting evil people and evil systems because this is how this all works. Taking intellectual people and you make them do stupid things. You base their mortgage and their lifestyle on foul people, and they embrace it all. Brother Chris, good morning. Respect, blessings, everyone. Teach another to help one another be sustainable. Yes, and that's why I'll talk about the stuff the way that I do, Chris. This stuff is easy. I tell everybody to grow food because, one, it's very easy. But it does take time to get your process down. It does take time for you to figure out how to grow what you're going to grow on your land, in your backyard, with the predators you have, the deer and the rabbits and the groundhogs and all. You can't just, oh, damn it, the trade war done started. We ain't got no food. Okay, we're going to grow some food tomorrow. You're going to die, okay? And your kids are going to die. And it's not going to be a good dying. It's going to be a slow, painful starvation, begging your neighbors for food dying. That's how it works. We never were supposed to stop growing our food. We're supposed to know what's around us now, and we're all supposed to have gardens going. sustainability in our country in a time of great instability comes from knowing how to do these things. But it's my warning to you. It's not as, it is very easy if you've been doing it. It's easy because I know what I'm dealing with in the places I grow. But when I first started out, it was hard trying to figure it out. Until you figure it out, you're not going to make it. You gotta, and if you don't have a plot of land, you live in a city, join a CSA. Don't join the CSAs, and maybe I'm using the wrong word, where they grow the food for you and you just go to the farmer's market and pick it up. No, this is about not being lazy. This is about empowerment and teaching your children to be empowered. Join the CSA that gives you a plot of land. Is that what it's called? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. Where you get a plot of land and they actually do some things for you. Like I think they might actually fertilize it for you. They might actually till it for you, but then they'll give you like a couple 100 square feet where you can go in and plant your own vegetables. Do that. You know, so don't have the excuse, well, I live in the city, I don't have no land, I rent, can't do it, landlord won't live in a township, they won't let me grow. We have solutions. This is a minor investment. You might pay $100 a month, $50 a month to actually set up your own little garden where you can grow on. Learn how to grow food. Realize, because the first time you grow, it's probably going to go well for you. The next year, it's probably going to suck. Something's going to come eat everything. You know, the bugs that ate whatever we're eating at the end of the year are going to lay eggs right underneath your tomato. So when you plant that tomato there again next year, oh, they're going to be ready to go. It's going to be millions of them. They're going to tear your tomatoes up. You're going to see aphids and white flies all over them. So, but you got to do these things. And that's what we're talking about, Brother Chris, is people got to do this now. Braden says, secret solar panels? Yes, secret. Secret solar panels. All right, I'm going to give you a little secret, Braden. I put a little bit out there, a little bit. All right, so when you buy your solar panels, they already know that you bought them. They do. And it's always a good idea, one, this is going to sound bad, know where the solar panels are in your community. Just that's all I'm going to say. Know where they are. Because that's where the gangs are going to go to get them when it's time to get them. People got their panels all over in the house, showing off, got them in the yard, tracking the sun. Oh, no, those people, they're not going to keep their panels. Know where they are. But the other thing is, learn how to make solar panels. Learn how to make them. Because they'll come, whether it's the federal government or the gangs or whatever happens when bad stuff happens, always happens, and they'll take them. But if you know how to take your tatting wire and actually make solar panels, you know how to stitch them together with your soldering iron, you don't have to worry about people stealing your solar panels. You'll know how to repair your solar panels. You will be sustainable into the future. I know it's crazy, right? Yeah, I know how to make solar panels. And guess what? My kids do too. And how to rate the systems, how to build a panel so it works with the system you have, your charge controller. These are things that you should be doing and playing with so you know how to do them. Why do I do that? Because I believe the 1% don't have holds on this. I think that this thing is going to collapse. All right. So yeah, so you want to keep it secret. You don't want to really post out to people what you're doing. It's a very bad idea, because if you don't think they're watching, they are watching. And when bad things happen, they don't want you being sustained. Like here, I'm gonna put out a crazy conspiracy theory. I think that when things go wrong, they're all of our world's leaders are gonna go in their bunkers and they're gonna sip brandy and hope that 90% of us die. And they're probably betting on a good strategy, right? Because they have that. They know that most people aren't sustainable. Most people can't grow food. They won't have power, solar panels, and they're going to go rob each other to try to get it. They know that the gangs got the guns. The gangs and the criminals will not give up the guns. They don't give a daggone about your gun control. But the other people, we just want to be good people, good citizens. I'm going to give up my guns. And you're going to give your guns up, and guess what's going to happen? The gangs are going to roll through. The mafias are going to roll through. The criminals with all the weapons are going to roll through and murder all of you and take everything. I think that's what they're hoping on. But if people are sustainable and they're taking care of themselves and they got these communities, and the United States, as an example, because that's where I live, doesn't collapse and 90% don't get eradicated, they'll do the eradicating. That's what I think. That's what I think that NDAA, government owns everything, was actually about. It was about, if things don't collapse hard enough and the population doesn't get reduced to a place where people are easily controllable, then come take everything that you own. That's why they want to own everything. That's my conspiracy theory. It's just a theory. I know it's conspiracy, but I grew up in a time where you couldn't trust government. I'm glad that you grew up in a place where you could trust your government. I did not. I grew up in a place where human beings have brains, and the same brain that they did all the foul things in history are the same brains in their head today. If they have total power over you, they come up with maniacal plans because the bottom line is profit, and they don't give a damn. That's how I grew up. We set up a fund for sustainable development. Braden, you got some great ideas, and I think you should share your ideas. I don't think you should share exactly what you're doing and when, but I think you should share your ideas because you do want to put together. There are a lot of people who live in the cities who have the money. They work for the businesses, but they got bunkers in the county. I know a bunch of them. They have cabins in the country. They're getting ready for it, right? They've got these things that they want to make sure that they're going to be okay if things fall apart. And then there's also people with that money who want you to go do it. And they'll let you be set up on their land as long as you're planting fruit trees and nuts and peanuts and things that they can eat. They don't want to grow anything. They don't want to garden. You're good at it. And so I think we do need some sort of a network to link people up like that. And if nothing goes wrong and all this is crazy and 1% decides, you know what, we love y'all. We're not going to let the world fall apart. We love y'all. We're not going to pull another Great Depression again. We love y'all. We're not going to do that to buy up corporations on the dollar, a penny on the dollar, which is what they did the Great Depression. We're going to keep things sustainable. And if that actually happens, it means that you got land in the country where you got food growing, where you can retire in peace in a cabin and sit back with the kids and the grandkids and everything is good. So it's just retirement. But it's a necessity that we start moving to more sustainable living. It's a necessity that we spend less. It's a necessity that we stop propping up these systems that fall, that need to fall. It's a necessity that trade wars happen between all the nations, because all the nations have starving people. All the nations have poor people, and no nation has any business. This is why I'm totally against the World Trade Organization. No nation has any business trading out of their borders what people who live in their borders don't have. Their number one goal or their number one responsibility is to their people. And if they're actually trading things out that their people need, that tells you their responsibility actually isn't to their people. It's to the markets that run their government and all the profit that's made within. Bring on the trade war. That's what I'm saying. I love it. I love it. I don't think it's going to be big enough. Let it be billions of products. Yes. All right. Once they go in their bunker, seal it off from the outside world, problem solved. Yes, Gustin, that's what I think they're planning. That's what I think they're planning. It may happen, it may not happen, but they don't have to. They already got the military under. They got their guards. They'll have their families. They'll all be safe, and they'll all go underground. They'll wait for the zombie apocalypse to happen. Everybody goes around killing each other, and when it's all said and done, they can come out. Whoever's left, 10%, whatever. Those people are easy to control, very easy to control, because they still have the guns and they're well fed and they're kids. And that's what I think. Because that's what I would do. That's exactly what I would do. If I wasn't with you poor people and I was with the billionaires, I think I would do exactly what the billionaires would do, because the same brain that's in their head is in my head. If I grew up the same way they did, with a silver spoon in my mouth and being taught that poor people are violent and they shouldn't exist, I would do the same thing. That's why I'm saying, if you can come up with a maniacal plan, odds are that's probably what they're going to do, because that's what you would do. Let me see. No matches, no machetes, guns. Yeah, Teresa, I'm not a machete player. Well, no, if you're in a tropical place, you got to have a machete. But it's what is that old saying? Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. Yeah. When this thing falls apart, you can have your pencils all you want. You can have your knives. You can have your pistols, your little 9mm. But those the assault rifles that y'all hate so much, the billionaires all got them. The guards all got them. The gangs all got them. The mafia all got them. None of them listen to any of the gun control that you're talking about. They all have it, and they're all going to do what they have to do. And just as a great example, we can talk about America and the Western world all we want. Countries fall apart every day. Every day in the third world, in the fourth world, whatever you want to call it. We destabilize and we make them fall apart. And the gangs have the semi-automatic and the fully automatic assault rifles, the AK-47s. And first of all, we give them to them. But go look at those countries and go talk to them. Ask them. You do that. You do that for me. Go ask someone who lives in one of these destabilized countries and ask them, is gun control a good idea? Ask them. All right, a couple more comments and I'm going to go. My country family makes homemade corn cob wine. So good. They also still do canning of the produce from the garden. So industries living off the land. And country living is good. Country living is good because it's what we always did. It's what we're supposed to do. Brother Phil said, never trust the government. I never had a reason to, so I don't. Brother Phil, I'm with you. Don't go full conspirated on us now. Oh, Brother Braden, oh, no, I haven't told you all of it. I've only told you half of it. No, my brain goes there, Braden. You come to America, you live here for a little while. I seen some junk. Brother Braden, I've been in some places, man. I've been in some places. I done had the police dogs in my car. I've been on the side of the road, had the police with guns, hands up, and I ain't done anything. I'm just a little black kid driving in the car. I done been there. I don't trust nothing about my government. Both sides, all my government, all races, they all do the same thing. I am Mr. Conspiracy. I don't always say it, but for me, it's not a conspiracy. It's an experiency. I done lived it. I done lived it, and I done seen it happen to my friends. I never trust my government. Let me see. The so-called world leaders sure made a big mess, didn't they? They made a big mess for us, Sandra, but I think that their system works like a fine-tuned machine. I think they designed this thing to work this way. I think they knew it would collapse. I think it's like the Great Depression experience, right? They destabilized the markets with the Fed. They made the system collapse. And when the system collapsed, if I got my history right, when the system collapsed, the big guys came in and bought up most of the corporations and a lot of the land in the United States, and then things came back. And so I think they build systems that will collapse, because when they collapse, that's how you take a 1% and you make it a 0.01%. And it collapses again, and you take a 0.01% and you make a 0.001%. Because it's that psychopathic mindset that you always have to have more, you know, at the high levels, propped up on people at the mid-tier level where they got to have more for the retirement, got to have more money. It's not enough. Need more, need a bigger house, need a bigger car, faster car, need this, need. And I think it's the same for the massive psychopath and the mini psychopath, but they always set up these markets so that they fall apart. And when they do, it's just market destabilization. It actually is just day trading. Look at day trading. That's all it is. We are all commodities. These countries are all commodities. And all they're doing is day trading. They're destabilizing markets and they're making a lot of money. It's how George Soros does. It's how a lot of your billionaires do. And that's why the billionaires will become, the millionaires became 100 millionaires. The 100 millionaires became billionaires. The billionaires are becoming 100 millionaires. And eventually the 100 millionaires will become trillionaires, because we're too stupid. We are too gaslit. And we actually trust our media and the government and everything they tell us. But anyway, that's my conspiracy for the day. It's Friday. Y'all have a great day. Love y'all to death. A lot of fun. Trade war, bring it on. I'm happy that it's happening. I don't think it can be warring enough. Anytime the billionaires are fighting, poor people are smiling. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.